All right, now I'm recording it, and I'll be able to just run it right from here and through clicks here and push it up to the website, the YouTube site.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I think we should start.
Okie doke.
Okay, so this meeting is for kicking off the board proposal for Ortelius, and myself, Tracy, and a few other members have been working on the governance board proposal since a few weeks, and now we are at a stage where we want to anchor it with you all and also ask for your feedback as well as some initial next steps to be taken in the process. So let's start with a few aspects of the governance board makeup. The board will consist of 7 members or people who will act as public representative of the project. This we have decided based on a lot of investigation and assessment which we have done from various other open source projects, including Jenkins and other open source projects. Also, the board will act as an ultimate decision authority in case of disputes. This is nothing new. I guess this has been one of the key criteria for the board to function, as well as the process by which the governance board is elected will be documented as a board election process. We will go to those points as we go along in these slides. I will take questions at the end of the slides, so feel free to note down your questions and then we can discuss. Governance board goals. In order to kind of ensure that we all understand what are the goals, there are high level goals which we have also crafted, and the board should reflect the will of the project participants. That's the most foremost and most important goal we have. Also, board reflects the balance of different viewpoints, the needs of the users, the committers, organization, both big and small, and commercial interests. We'll also have to maintain stability and avoid sudden direction changes. So board will ensure that we do not have any sudden direction changes, and we are consistent in how we are putting up our roadmaps, how we are aligning with the strategy, as well as how we are communicating this to the community. Now, before we move on, Tracy, if you have anything to add on to this before we go into the election process.
No, none.
Okay, so then from the governance board election process, what we have discussed, and we have come to the conclusion that the board governance board includes 7 members as we outlined. We have Steve Taylor as one of the nominated members by the founders as a permanent member. So he will hold a permanent seat until he willingly wants to kind of give away that seat to anyone else, or he wants to step down. Election every year, we'll elect 3 people in each year. So the terms are for, and this is something which we will outline in the next slides. Nomination period will be of 3 weeks, and we encourage all the community members to consider running for the board positions. No single company should be dominating the board, so the number of board members affiliated to one company must be less than 50%. We also are very strong supporter of how we ensure diversity and inclusion, and we will be closely looking at the D&I quotient in the board. And lastly, we will use the online voting system. That's this voting system is provided in the slide. The link to the service is there, and it uses algorithms to elect multiple people in one vote. And the voting process, what we assume that all the community members will be encouraged to vote. If you want to opt out from this voting process, we will have an opt-out form which we will provide to the members. So you can choose not to have your email sent to the voting system. So that's what where we will consider setting up the system, as well as also ensuring that all of you are part of the election process. Now, from a committee chair and election process, there are a few more points. There will be 2 permanent committee chairs, non-voting members. What we have decided is the first one is the ambassador chair, and the second one is the champions chair. Their terms will be for 1 year, and the election will be held at the same time as the governance board. So the governance board will manage the committee chair election process, as well as it will follow the same guidelines. So nothing strange here. The role of the committee chair will be to schedule and run the committee meetings and communicate the governance board to resolve any issues which we have. Of course, there's a lot of things which we have to ensure that once the governing board is in place, we'll have to have the schedule of the meeting, also the charter, as well as the minutes. Now, the first election process, as we have stated, we'll have 6 people to be elected for the first year. Having said that, 1 permanent member is already there, which is Steve Taylor. So 3 will be elected for 2 years and 3 will be elected for 1 year. Now, why we have distributed this term is because we don't want disruptive changes due to the entire change in the entire board. So we will have a rolling kind of term, so that we maintain consistency, and we also align how the board is getting transformed year on year when new members are introduced.
Can you go back to that? Let's make sure
Yes.
everybody understands. So only the first year will we have elections of 3 people that serve a 1-year term. After that, all the elections will be re-electing 3 people every year to be on the board. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just to ensure that we have consistency, and we don't just do the overhaul of the board every year.
So what will end up happening is every year we'll have 5 seats that will be filling, 3 that are on the board, and the chair for ambassadors and chair for the champions. So every year we'll have 5 seats. Okay.
Okay. So then the key dates. What we intend to do is as we mentioned, that we want to give ample amount of time for setting up the nominations, as well as getting the nominations done. So we propose that September 24th nominations get opened. We also have the voting sign up begins, which is basically, if you haven't opted out, you would automatically be signed up for voting into this. And October 15th, it's the nomination deadline. So if you want to nominate yourself or any other community member for the board position, that's your time when you can do that. October 26th, election candidates are published. November 10th, voting begins. November 8th, voting sign up is over. And November 27th, voting ends. Now, December 3rd, results are announced and it takes effect. So basically what we have tried to do is that we have to get the board set up for the next year, and that's what our ambition is. Any questions for this one?
Nope.
Okay, so if there are no questions, then you can realize that this is a substantial amount of work, and we would need some support from the community members. So August 13, here we are. We have done the kickoff meeting with the Ortelius community. We invite nominations to the election committee working group. which is basically we would need 5 to 6 people. What we will do is we'll follow up this conversation with a Google form, and you can actually nominate yourself, or
You don't
if
need, no, we, there,
yeah.
you don't need to nominate yourself. You either, so the way I'd like to do this is you show up to do the work, and whoever is interested to review the bylaws and make sure we have the bylaws down. Whoever wants to get involved can do that. It doesn't have to be 5 or 6 people. It could be 2 people, or it could be 15 people. So we'll let the whole community will have the opportunity to see the bylaws. And why don't we go to the Google Doc?
Yeah, I will. I just wanted to remove this. So everyone is invited. That's what
Yeah.
we are saying here.
And
So
really
let's
the only work that needs to be done from here is that we have the bylaw document. We need a consensus that the bylaws are complete and everybody agrees to them. And then once that's done, we're ready to go. I will take the responsibility of looking for a proper voting site. I'll go look at Codercent and see if that is a good one. And if not, I'll let the committee know that I'm struggling with finding a good voting online voting system, and the community can help me find one if that's what we get to. That is what Jenkins uses, and I've just talked to a lot of other open source teams, and they use the same one. So really what we have to do is to get this document kind of done by, say, the 15th of September, which gives us a month for everybody to read through this document and make sure it is what we want.
Yeah, so this is the document.
We're not seeing your screen. You probably were just sharing. Yep, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
You have to share everything on your screen.
Yeah, I will do that. Share, and then if we go to the folder, there is a folder in the Ortelius project. This is a governance folder, and there are two documents: the governance proposal, which I have already shared with you in this meeting, as well as the document which we are creating. And of course, this is an interesting exercise because we are trying to kind of see what is applicable for us as a community, and what learnings and best practices we could take from other open source communities like Jenkins and some of the other ones. So we have started drafting this document. It's not in completion stages, but as Tracy mentioned, that we would like to complete it by 15th of September.
I would say it could be used as it is today. But the community needs to read it, and anybody who wants to have time to comment on it, we just need to make sure everybody gets their comments in.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Pretty
so
simple.
This is where you can find it.
Yeah, this process is pretty far along. We are really just at, hey, everybody, here's the bylaws, here's how the governing board will work, here's how the elections will be held. Please make comments on that primary document, and we should have it decided upon by the 15th of September. So what we should do is we should schedule a meeting in 2 weeks and a meeting 2 weeks after that, I will share this recording and the link to the doc to everybody in the Ortelius community. And to tell everybody, hey, if you want to make comments on the bylaws, this is the time. We're going to finalize it by the 15th. And then maybe we all get together in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks from now, and then 4 weeks, because that will allow everybody, us to see if there's any changes that are being made and address them. And in the meantime, I'll find the voting, I'll get us signed up for the voting system.
Right, that's good. And I guess we have been making this document very simple and effective. We have thought through a lot of things before coming to this conclusion, and Tracy has been onto various boards actually in various companies. So we have taken advantage of her experience and knowledge, as well as we have gone out and considered some aspects from Jenkins. We have also taken support from outside. So it is like it took us some time to kind of do this work.
Well, we're close. the rest is up to you guys to figure out what it was we didn't think about. And that's what my biggest concern is. What did we miss? So I am going to put a meeting on the books for August the 27th, which is 2 weeks from today. I'm sending it out to the Ortelius group right now. So all of you should get that invite. And then what I'll do is I'll get the recording done, and I'll send a email out to everyone that gives them a summary of what was done, where they can find the information. And if we don't have a lot of comments, then we're going to be good to go by the 15th of September. Should be pretty quick and painless for all of us.
Yeah, it's unusually quiet, and that makes me nervous. So it's like, give us some feedback if you have.
I mean, I have given it on many platforms individually to each one of you. Nothing more to add. That's why it is known to me.
Yeah, okay. So your points are considered. That's great.
Yeah, and this is like Devin and Jeff. This is the first time for me, so I'm just have to go through the document to comment on that.
This is not something that everybody likes to do, so I appreciate the ones who have showed up. So.
Yeah, I think for the interest of the community, I would actually like to propose that I would go through a blog, write a blog, and Siddharth, you can actually review the blog and see if it's something which we should be able to publish. So that's what I was thinking, Tracy, as well. So
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So I've scheduled 2 meetings, one for the 27th of August and one for the 10th. The 10th of August will be our final day. Whatever we've got for those bylaws will be the bylaws. Now, keep in mind, the governance board can always modify the bylaws. It's part of their job is to manage the bylaws. So if they need to modify the bylaws, they can. But up until the 10th of September, they will be open for suggestions from the community.
Yeah.
Does that work for everybody?
So if there are no immediate feedback, I would like to thank you all for joining the meeting today. Tracy, if you could stay for a while, that would be great. And we look forward for your feedback and contributions. Hopefully by end of this year, the governance board will be set up. And I think it will be an experience for all of us to kind of get our hands wet onto this.
Yes, I think it'll be good to have the governance board set up. In fact, somebody from the Linux Foundation asked me about it just this week. I was like, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, everybody.
All right.
So then
Thank you.
say goodbye to everyone.
Bye. That was fast.
Yeah, I can see Devendra and Firefly.
That's my note taker. That's my note taker.
Nice name, Michelle.
That's an app. That's an app that runs with my Zoom. So I always have if I ever have to go back and look at notes, I can.
Oh, amazing. That's really good. Okay, Devendran, do you have anything else to add?
No, actually, yeah. So far, it is what I have seen is good. We will actually consult more on the August 30th, where the all members present. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I cannot hear you properly, but I see that at least you are aligning with what we are kind of have put forward. So
do please read through it's just 5 short pages. So carefully read through those bylaws. And bring in any changes that you think we need to discuss to the call in 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that. And
super helpful.
If you can publish that to this card also, the committee members are active.
Yeah, I'm going to share it right now. I'm going to send an email and make sure it's shared with everybody, and everybody has the recording from today.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to stop recording.